would you say that if somebody is a regular high THC cannabis user, that they are at greater risk to developing psychosis if they're taking these stimulant form ADHD meds?
Yeah, I mean, you could actually play that both ways. I mean, you could claim that if they've already been on an agent without developing psychosis, then maybe they're more impervious to that as a potential side effect. Or where you were coming more from is if we're already on one agent that's pushing them that direction, why the heck would you ever add another that could also? I mean, my approach clinically would be more, what do you think the marijuana is doing for you? And might it be more helpful to just clear that out of the picture before we add anything new onto it, but depending on what they say or don't say. So my reading of the data is very clear that there is some, I mean, there's, even at low THC, there's some risk. Is it, reefer madness that everyone who puffs a joint is freaking out? Clearly not. But again, it's much more potent than it was 10 years, or that was 70 years ago, I guess.
Yeah, especially as I understand, we had an expert from the cannabis research community on in edible form in particular. It's harder for people to control the dosage, whereas when people use inhalation as a means to deliver, it seems like they kind of find the right plane without going overboard more often than with edibles. In any case,
well, one other big factor is that CBD actually seems in some studies to have an antipsychotic effect. So, maybe strains of marijuana 50 years ago that had a whatever nature thought was a more balanced view had less of a risk. But now that you can get pure THC products, and I'm sure you've highlighted that a big problem with this whole industry is even in Colorado, which 3 years ago was the state with the most close regulation and inspection, and almost a majority of what the labels say don't correlate with what you're really getting. So this is not a well-regulated industry, even though states are trying to regulate their industries, so you may not know what you're getting. CBD, again, may have some protective effects, so getting pure and higher potency THC may be particularly undesirable.